This is Hannibal from the Hannibal TV.com with a lot of All Elite Wrestling news and notes with information I have got from the Wrestling Observer newsletter. The big news this week is the company officially announced that it is going to have a TNT professional wrestling show starting on October 2nd, 2019. It's going to air Wednesday nights between 8 and 10 p.m. with the debut event taking place at the Capital One Center in Washington, D.C., which is usually configured for about 14,000 fans when Raw and SmackDown comes to that venue for a Wednesday night. I do believe they have a good chance of getting a big crowd for their very first television taping. They have a lot of money backing their company. I'm sure they'll do a great advertising job on it. As far as the rest of the shows, once they become weekly, they say they're going to hold their events in general in 6,000 to 11,000 seat arenas, which is going to be quite something to get on a regular basis every week with the current roster of talent they have. Also taking into consideration that according to Dave Meltzer, the Raw and SmackDown television tapings usually have a lower attendance than 6,000 these days. So going to 6,000 to 11,000 seat arenas is pretty ambitious, to say the least. Of course, WWE is apparently looking to counter-program the All Elite Wrestling show, which they haven't announced what they're going to call their show yet, but WWE is looking to have a version of NXT airing on FS1 to counter-program it to hurt their ratings. According to Dave Meltzer, they would probably use more WWE main roster talent on this show. It's unknown if this show would be a 1 to 2 hour shows. It's still in the early stages. AEW did a lot of media on July 24th at the Television Critics Association convention, pushing this new show of theirs. So it'll be interesting to see how it does for sure. Apparently Jungle Boy, the son of Luke Perry, had a lot of attention at the event. I did hear an interview with him not too long ago on the Chris Jericho podcast where he was almost trying to downplay his association with Luke Perry, but let's face the facts here. The main reason he has jobs in the professional wrestling world is due to his affiliation with the now deceased Luke Perry. CM Punk has been announced for the StarCast event that is going to be held in conjunction with All Elite Wrestling on their big event at the end of the summer in Chicago. So it'll be interesting to see if CM Punk is actually used on the event or not. It seems like it would just be plain stupid to turn down a payday to not show up on that event. A wrestler who I haven't actually seen wrestle yet, but I will check him out at some point, MJF, signed a 5-year deal this week with AEW, so it'll be interesting to see if they're going to actually stay in it for 5 years, if it becomes a money-losing product. But they are signing people to those type of contracts. As I reported a few days ago, Tony Schiavone, hosting the Road to All Out's Event Center segment on AEW, was not something that MLW President Court Bauer had approved, and Schiavone is apparently under contract with MLW, and he cannot proceed with AEW unless some type of deal is worked out with Court Bauer. Tully Blanchard, as previously reported, has signed a multi-show contract to manage Shawn Spears in an effort to build his feud with Cody Rhodes, as they have so far been basing it around the chair shot, which the company has already said publicly was a planned spot gone wrong. AEW has announced that they are planning to run 100 to 120 live events per year most likely 4 pay-per-views and 51 TV tapings. The house shows are mostly going to take place on Saturday nights, and very rarely is there going to be more than one show a week, with the main stars of the company sticking to around 75 matches per year and not wrestling on all the house shows. Dr. Michael Sampson, who was a longtime WWE doctor, who apparently was the guy that saved Jerry Lawler's life when he had a heart attack in WWE a few summers ago at a Raw taping in Montreal. He's going to be the head physician for AEW. Cody Rhodes was at a AAA show on July 18th, scouting talent. Jim Ross noted on his podcast this week that the reason he declined an invitation to attend a Raw reunion show is because he's looked at as a locker room leader in AEW, someone that the young guys can go to advice for, and he didn't think it would be necessarily good to go to Raw just for a payday. He also mentioned at the Raw 25th anniversary special, him and Lawler basically just announced a 4-minute match from the secondary building, which I believe was the Manhattan Center at MSG. So there was no telling how he would have been used. But the main reason he didn't do it was to set an example for the AEW guys, saying that he's dedicated to the product, as there's a lot of young talent there. And I wish Jim Ross would actually recommend me to AEW. Back in 2014, I did a talent evaluation before Jim Ross and Gerald Briscoe in Waterloo, Iowa, where they both said that they would recommend me to the WWE. 2 years later, in 2016, Briscoe actually did get me a WWE NXT tryout, which they sent me my itinerary for and everything. And then the WWE canceled that tryout for me about 10 days before it was supposed to happen, with no explanation why. So I would say my talent has not gone down at all since 2014. I'm actually an even better talent than then and more knowledgeable about the business. But it seems at this point, AEW is going after more of the small wrestlers, and as Jim Ross said, the young guys with less experience. Well, that's their decision, but I'm definitely open to working for a company like AEW, MLW, or ROH in the future.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Support us on patreon.com for $1.99 a month to watch our full shoot interviews ad-free and help our channel grow. Follow us on Twitter at the Hannibal TV for instant updates.